and welcome back to Tween Tuesday. I'm Miss Cindy from the South Brunswick Public Library, and today's craft is super simple, but I think super fun. I'm going to show you how to use Sharpies and alcohol to make a DIY tie-dye creation. So for example, this is the one that I've made on camera, so this is the one that I'm going to show you guys how to do. I think it came out really cool. I think it comes out interesting, and you know me, I always love to be able to customize anything that I've got. So let's get to it. Okay guys, let's get started on this Sharpie tie-dye project. Let me show you what you're going to need. You're going to need white fabric. I'm using a t-shirt, Sharpies, or any permanent marker. As you can see, these are not all Sharpie brand. Isopropyl alcohol, and optionally some old cardboard. It could be like a cereal box or just any part of a box that's meant to go to the recycle bin. We're just going to go ahead and use this before we throw it away. So first I'm going to unfold my shirt. That's what I'm using. Okay, now what I'm going to do with the cardboard is I'm going to put it inside the shirt to protect the other side of the shirt from getting stained or getting colored if I don't want it to. Which is why I said it could be literally any cardboard. You just want to feel and make sure that the cardboard is underneath the part where you're planning to draw or tie-dye essentially. Okay. One thing that I didn't mention that you can use that might be helpful is tape. I'm going to use tape to kind of border off a little bit just so that the color doesn't go far past where I want it to. So okay, I've got a good solid border around all sides. Now is pretty much the fun part, where you can just draw or color in or paint whatever you'd like. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Make sure again that the parts that you're coloring or drawing in are covered, well, underneath are, here we go, are directly on top of the cardboard that you already put down. Just like with salt painting, if you followed along for that tutorial, I wouldn't suggest doing anything that has a lot of small and intricate details in it, just because when you pour the alcohol on, the whole point of it is to get it to spread. And so you don't want your, tiny details that you spent a very long time on to be totally ruined by the addition of the alcohol. You want to make sure to kind of keep it big. Don't do anything that's going to be really upsetting to see get smeary and blurry once you pour the alcohol in. I'm not doing anything specific in terms of shapes or anything. Just drawings. I'm just gonna get fast forwarded. Cindy, what are you talking about? Okay, so I tried to keep it simple just so that we can show you guys what we're doing. But you can be as intense. You can do much more designs, a much bigger design. You can do the whole shirt. That's all fine. I'm just sticking to this one piece. So I'm going to double check my cardboard just to make sure it's completely underneath where I need it to be, because now we're going to use the alcohol. So the bottle that I'm using has a small dropper in it already. If yours just opens up kind of like this and doesn't have a small dropper, what I would suggest you do is wear gloves, just because this can irritate, and cover most of the bottle top, the bottle neck opening, with your finger, and then gently pour, or grab like a spoon and just kind of dab it over. What you don't want is to kind of flood the whole thing all at once. If you have an old dropper, like from a medicine dropper or essential oil, you know, vitamin, anything like that, that would work too. But I'm just going to work with what I have here. And here, you just start plopping some water. Not water, excuse me. You start plopping the alcohol. You don't have to cover every single inch. This will spread. And that's what you want it to do. You want it to spread. You can help it along a little bit if you want, by just using your fingers and kind of gently smearing. If you think that you want something to spread a little bit more. If you see where my fingers are, they're kind of pushing the yellow green out to the sides. You don't have to. It's just something that you can do. I cover this little jersey butt in kind of a pink purple. So that's why I'm doing this all over his arms. I'm just going to go through and just smear a little bit where I kind of want it to spread more than it already did. You can always add more alcohol. That's fine. It's just you don't want to add too much all at once until you see kind of where it's going and where you want it to go, and then you can go ahead and add more. Because if you make a mistake and add too much at once, there's not really much you can do to fix it. But if you add too little, it's not a big deal. You just add more. Let's see. I'd like a little bit more here. Just to kind of spread it more. I would say for me, this is pretty much good, pretty much done. I'm going to remove the tape just to show you guys kind of how it'll come out. I don't suggest removing the tape though, technically, until after the alcohol is dried, but I will still show you. It still spreads, as you can see, but it doesn't spread as far as it otherwise could or would if it didn't have the tape there. And you end up with something that's really cool and interesting, and definitely different than when we started, when it was just a plain white t-shirt. So what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to let the alcohol on this dry completely, so that it's, you know, totally dry when you touch it. And then after that, you want to wash it. I would probably recommend, you know, cold water or cool water, you know, nothing too hot. but you do want to get it clean, and you want to do that kind of as gently as possible. Even if you do it inside out so that the design doesn't get too rubbed up against with other fabric, that's fine. If you want to hand wash it, that's fine too. You just want to get the alcohol off of it, basically. But that is it. It is a super, super simple craft. You can do this with shirts. You can do this with like pillowcases or sheets. I've seen people do it with like white fabric that they are eventually going to turn into like curtains for their door or curtains for their window and stuff like that. Really, any white fabric this would work for. So I hope you guys had fun, and I hope you guys learned something new, and I will see you next time on Tween Tuesday. Bye!